Last day before the weekend, getting out to my shop. I just called the company for the container. Hopefully they can get out here and bring us another empty container. I'm gonna pick up where I left off. I brought this washer in last night. It's in pretty rough shape. We're gonna see what we can do with it. Before I do anything, these parts me and Erwin tore off of the machines last night. I'm gonna get them all put away. Yes, sir. They're dropping off another empty container and picking up the old one. Let's get it done. We'll get this thing loaded up this evening when Erwin gets home. We got Emma out here watching the show. Super cool driver. Yes, sir. Not too bad. Had one little item slip out. The rest of it fastened down pretty good. We'll get this thing loaded up later. We got plenty of metal to load up. Probably another 7 or 8 containers at the minimum before we get all of this pile gone, because it stretches out way over there. None of the mowers will be going. We're gonna get them relocated, but let's get back in the shop. Let's get some work done. I got all the parts put away and cleaned up. Before I get to working on anything, a couple videos ago on the weekend, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I ended up breaking one of the solders to my charger for the RC car batteries and never got around to fixing it. So I just took some time. I took it to my dad's shop and got it soldered back on. I had to take the plastic off that went on the positive side in order to get this done. It's still a little hot. Get these batteries charged up before the cells die. So that's another job complete. Let's get these batteries charging and get to work. Got the van cranked on. I'm gonna get it moved over here in the shop. That way it's not baking in the sun. And when I go to load it up this evening for this weekend, it'll be nice and close. Working on this stove. I got the control board taken off. As you can see, this thing is full of bugs and roaches and just gross. The control board's actually the issue here. I checked all my parts and my stoves and I don't have the same one. I really don't want to hold on to this junk for no reason. The board costs too much money to try to fix. So what I'm going to do is take all the good switches out, take the cable off, get the elements out, completely stripped all the good parts, just finished taking off this fan. Everything that I need and the wires completely off. We're left with the metal. We're gonna take this thing out to the scrap pile. I'm moving on to this washer. As you can see, I've already took the head unit off, got the screws off. I'm getting ready to release these clips here. Took the wires that go to the child lock off. We're gonna get the body taken off, then we can take a better look at it. Pretty much. These things are pretty easy. It's an older model machine. Once you get those things, the screws to the head unit and the wires detached, just pop these 2 clips off. Oh, you can see. Man. This way, I can bypass this child lock. I got this washer over here. I actually got a child lock for it. These I purposely short out just so I can test machines like this without having to have the body on. I took the pump off because when I turn it on, this is what it does. It's on a spin mode. It just hums. And sometimes if the pump's clogged, it'll do that just because it's connected directly to the motor. Even with the pump off, it's doing that. So what I'm thinking it is, this capacitor right here, if it goes bad, it'll just hum. Not enough power. So let's see what we can do. Try to get it swapped out and test it again. Before I do anything else to that washer, I took the first battery pack that I had charging off the charger, put it in the car. Seems to be working, so that's good. That means my charger's still up and going. Getting the second pack charged up. Really, number one reason why I wanted to get this thing up and going is because my nephew, 3 years old, loves to play with it. I can't even lie. This thing is pretty fun. It's pretty quick too. I know I bring it to the flea market on the weekends, but fun bringing it back here. At the flea market, it slides a lot better on the concrete floor. I just put on a new capacitor, put it in place. I haven't plugged it in yet. We'll see if it works, but this is the old one. As you can see, both the contacts pretty much just fell right off when I took the wires off, so this thing definitely needed to be swapped out. Let's plug it in and let's see what's going on. Moment of truth. I'm really hoping it's gonna work. I got the pump clip back in place, so if everything does work, it should start pumping the water out. Put it on a spin. Nice. So we're gonna make sure there's no leaks. We're gonna let it spin, let it do its thing, and then if everything checks out, we'll go into cleaning it up, making it look nice and pretty. So we're gonna let it finish out this spin cycle. I don't have the hoses in the back hooked up yet. I just wanted to get it spinning first, but then we'll get it all tested, cleaned up, ready to go. I'm pretty sure the agitator's bad as well, so I have to replace those agitator cogs in there. Not really any leaks. There was water in the drum, so it was leaking. There it goes. And it just finished out the little spin cycle I had it on. Perfect. So looks like the capacitor was the only issue here. So like I said, see how this just spins freely in all directions. Shouldn't do that. It should catch. A lot of the times the plastic cogs in there go bad. So there's a couple more leaves in here. It's going to get them pulled out real quick. Let's hook up some water to it. Make sure it's not leaking or anything like that. Make sure all the controls are working, hot, cold. Before I do anything else to that washer, I'm going to head up to the house. Get me another cup of coffee. I'm fresh out. It's about 4 o'clock now. Erwin should be home in the next hour and a half. Maybe we can get to loading up this container this evening. It's Friday. We don't have any plans other than work and get as much done as we can before the weekend. Get to it. Nice sunny day out here today. My dad let the sheeps out to free range. Looks like some of the sheep and the goats are on the other side of the fence over here. A little too close for comfort to the road. So we're gonna get them pushed back. No, you ain't supposed to be over here. Looks like a new machine. I got it wiped down a little bit. It wasn't too bad. This thing was outside under a tree, so filled up with leaves, got all kind of dirt and mugginess all over it. So a quick wipe down makes it look a lot better. This in here is actually a screw, so I'm gonna get that released, get this pulled out of here, and then we're gonna get those cogs replaced. Use my little pointy tool here, just kind of wedged it in here, freed the screw up, get this pulled out of here. Pretty straightforward what's going on here. Once you pull this little section out, fuck. Let's just do this. I'm doing it with one hand, so this is the problem why it's not catching. These little cogs here, there's 4 of them. They're supposed to have little ridges on them. Over time, they wear off, so they don't catch very well. I got 4 brand new ones I'm getting ready to put in here, and then we'll get this put back together. We're gonna hook this machine up to some water. Make sure everything's working, agitating, spinning, not leaking, all that good stuff. If that all checks out, then I'll finish cleaning it up real good, make it look real nice, put the body back on and check it again. All right, so I didn't quite finish up that washer. Me and my dad are hooking up some chains. We're gonna get this big old bush hog moved out of here. We brought this over here probably a month or 2 ago. It's got bad wheels on it, and it's a big, heavy piece of equipment. We don't need it. We're probably gonna end up selling it, but we're gonna get it moved up a little bit. It's kind of just in the middle of our field here, and we're really trying to clean everything up. So let's see how this goes. Pusti dole, malo. Now she's moving. She was dragging up the dirt. I told him to set it down a little bit. Really all we're trying to do is get it out the way. For now, it'll be used as an ornament for the lawn. It's got its own little ecosystem in here. Let me get back in here. Let me clean these up. This little plastic piece goes on top here, holds it in place. Got that taken off. Get the 4 old ones out of here. And then we're gonna install these 4 new ones, put this back on. My dad's getting his truck brought over here. We gotta get it unloaded. He's gotta pick some things up tomorrow. I got this job done. Got the new cogs on here. Got the screw put back. We're gonna put it back in place here. Cleaned up the drum. Screw the screw on, and then we're gonna hook it up to some water. Now it catches, moves the bottom and the top. We're gonna hook the hoses up and get this thing tested again. We're gonna get my dad's truck unloaded. We got a couple TVs to take out, no machines. He's gotta go somewhere and pick up a load, so he needs an empty truck. We got the truck completely unloaded. I think he's going to pick up 3 or 4 pallets and some other items tomorrow, so he needs to complete 18 feet. So these valves that I got the water lines hooked up to, one hot, one cold, I'm thinking that might be the issue here. If they're not bad, then it's the timer, but let's hope these things are causing the problem. So far, so good. It's agitating right now, giving the clothes a good wash. So we swapped out 3 things on this machine. The agitator cogs, we swapped out that capacitor and the inlet valve. So hopefully that's all. We'll see, we'll let it do its thing. Then we'll finish cleaning it all up, get it put back together. The washer finished its cycle out. All the clothes are spun out real well. So now what we're gonna do, push the timer to off. This is the body for the machine right here. It's pretty dirty. Oh, I think all it needs is a good wipe down. Doesn't look like it has any rusty spots on it.
Just throwing them.
This man. He has literally been throwing them in place.
Yes, sir.
That came down a lot easier than I was thinking. Got the sheep still grazing out here. We're finishing up another container full of scrap. We're really starting to make a dent in the pile. One day at a time. We're getting ready to head inside, get to working on some dinner, get ready for the weekend.